Hi there, what we're going to do today is show you how to apply G4 ceramic paint protector. First we've assembled all the things we're going to need to do the job. A blue towel which is going to be used for smoothing the product over, wiping away excess. A white towel that we're going to use to buff to a shine and ensure a full removal. The mitt that will be used with the paint protector. And a couple of other products that we use during preparation. Hyper compound for a fine compound for removing small marks, and another glaze product, GPS. Now so the car has been prepared already. We've washed it, we've dried it thoroughly, and we've wiped it down with Prepson. So now we're ready to put on the paint protector itself. Now it's really important when you're putting on the paint protector that you start with a wet mitt. You've got to wet it thoroughly and use maybe 20% of the contents of this bottle just to get your mitt going properly. If you do put it on too dry, you're actually going to make your job much harder. You can see the surface of the mitt wetting. So be generous when you start. Now we're just going to apply it evenly to the surface. Putting it on is actually quite an easy job. It's just about being thorough and wiping it onto all surfaces. A little bit more product to make sure, as I say, getting the mitt going, important that you've got a nice wet mitt. Great thing about the product is you can actually see it being left behind, even on a pale colour, you'll know where you've been. Make sure you've got a small overlap when you're putting the product on. Now come in and have a look at what's going on the bonnet if you can. There are a couple of changes starting to take place. The first thing that will happen is the product breaks into lines, and hopefully you can see those in the video, and then after that it starts to form up into small dots. Now it's quite a warm day, and there's a bit of a breeze blowing, so that's dried quite quickly. What we don't want to have when we're taking the product off is friction on the towel. The towel's got to move freely over the product as you're removing it and smoothing it. So I'm going to start doing that now for you. Again, that takeaway towel, that wipe off smoothing towel, should just glide over the vehicle. There should be no friction. And because you're taking it off slightly damp, make sure that you are turning your towel over and using fresh sides regularly, and even there make sure you've wiped away with an overlap. Again, hopefully you can see from what's going on that there's absolutely no friction. I'm literally just wiping it nice and smooth and taking away the excess product. When you're finished with that towel, always put it somewhere you're going to apply product later. Don't leave it rest on the glass. The next step, where we slow down a little bit, is the buffing towel and inspection towel. We want to make sure if we've missed any areas, take it off the blue towel, we pick it up with the white one. So now we're going to work a bit closer and have a good look. It's a final inspection as well as a buff. Make sure you've got a good overlap on all your panel edges. This is the time you want to pick up any little errors, any areas you may not have moved, because if you have failed to remove anything during the original process and this process, and the product's left a blush or there's a ridge left behind, all you'll need to do to remove it is to reactivate it using the mitt. If you do that too long after you've done your initial application, you won't be able to remove that easily. And it really is as simple as that. Keep going. As you become more experienced, you'll be able to do more than one panel. Now we do recommend when you're starting off, don't do an area any bigger than a bonnet. Maybe an area as big as a door, one panel only. Having, panels like this might be a bit small. but we'll show you how you can get a couple of panels done. And again, it's about moving quickly. Add a little bit more product to the mitt to ensure it's wet. And nice even application strokes, good overlap at your seams. It does not need to be worked into the paint, it needs to be placed onto the paint. And note, mouldings get done as well. No need to avoid mouldings, chrome or any of those parts of the car. So again, what we've seen is the product starting to break up into little dots. We're going to fold our towel, make sure we've got some dry sides to work with, and go with that first smoothing towel and excess removal towel. Again, looking out for your overlaps. Look at the way that moulding's come up. Now this time we're going to go a little bit further with the application. Now I'm going to do the next two panels as well. As you see, adding more product to make sure that we've got a nice wet mitt, and same as the last two. I've got a good overlap on the mitt. You can see the product going on. There's no gaps because the mitt's nice and wet. Very easy to see where you've been. Product doesn't need to be worked into the paint, it needs to be placed onto the paint. You do need to be aware of keeping on turning your towel and working towards a dry side. That'll make your job easier. Watch for your overlaps on panel joins again. Once again, we're now going to go back and do our final inspection and buff with the white towel. We need to make sure we've left nothing behind. Now's the time we want to pick it up. So we slow down, pay close attention. stay there, please, don't come in. Expect our way. Finally, what we're going to do is show you how to apply Dura paint protector to glass. The product works beautifully on glass. The only real difference is you don't want to use as much and leave it on quite as long, so there'll be sufficient on the mitt. And you're going to take it off quite soon after you've put it on. Trust me, there'll be plenty left behind to do the job. No need to avoid rubbers, chrome, any of those surfaces. Watch out for the corners. And as you do every time, come back with the dry towel and do an inspection buff. Again, watch out for your corners. Alright, finally, thanks for your attention, and if you've got any doubts about what you've seen today or how to apply the product, step away from the car and ring TF Group for further advice. Thanks a lot.